Because of its spectacular natural beauty, the islands are unquestionably one of the most breathtaking locations that can be visited anywhere on the globe. Its mountainous scenery and pristine coastline make it an essential stop for any traveler. But the island's cuisine is what truly separates it from other popular tourist spots in the world. Renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and rich Viking heritage, this hidden gem beckons travelers seeking unique experiences. Did you know the Faroe Islanders have an unparalleled taste for fermented sheep's head? Have you ever tasted seafood that has been fermented? What about a dish that's created from the head of a sheep? In this video, we are going to go into the history of the Faroe Islands, and you will learn a lot of amazing things about the island, including their language and culture. 1. The Faroe Islands are a teeny tiny archipelago of islands located in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, to the north-northwest of Scotland, and exactly in the middle of the distance between Iceland and Norway. 2. The name Ro originates from the Old Norwegian word fire, which means sheep, and the term you are, which refers to islands. The Faroes name alludes to the significance of sheep farming to the Faroes' way of life. In fact, there are 70,000 sheep on the island, but only 52,000 humans. The Faroes name was given to the island. 3. The Faroe Islands are some of the most remote islands in the world, and as a result, they have been virtually unaffected by the passage of time and by the development of contemporary societies. The Faroe people live in a house with a grass roof, which is maintained by sheep herding. 4. The Faroe Islands were administered by the Norwegian monarch for a number of centuries. However, beginning in the 14th century, they came to be governed by the Danish crown instead. 5. The food of the Faroe is renowned for being one of a kind. A form of fermented mutton that has been hung and dried for a few months is called skurpigwet, and it is one of the more well-known delicacies. The flesh has a reputation for having a strong and pungent flavor, which to those who are not familiar with it may seem revolting. 6. They are known to devour dolphin and whale flesh despite the criticism of locals, and their specialties include fish cakes made from mashed potatoes and fish stew. The people who live on the island of Faroe also enjoy seafood such as salmon and haddock. 7. The Faroe Islands have a climate that is characterized by mild temperatures all year round. 8. The Faroe Islands are home to a number of professional footballers, including those who play for Jans Martin Newton soccer clubs, and the national squad B36 Tushvanters Shanwer Lotwerleg, both of which have won some notable victories over larger nations despite the Faroe Islands' relatively small size. 9. The islands are distinguished by their rough, hilly terrain, which is dominated by steep cliffs and fjords. This topography gives the islands their name. 10. Slaughter and Tinder is the highest point in Faroe, and it is located at an elevation of 880 meters above mean sea level. 11. With a total land area of around 1,400 square kilometers, the Faroe Islands are comprised of 18 major islands, in addition to several smaller islets and sand islands. 12. The main island is Stromøy, which also contains numerous other important towns and villages in addition to the world's smallest capital city, Torvand. Torvand has a population of just over 13,000 people, making it the world's smallest capital city. 13. Despite being conquered by the British during World War II, Denmark retained sovereignty over the islands for a number of centuries while they were in their possession. Within the reign of Denmark, the Faroe Islands attained their own independent status as a self-governing territory in the year 1848, complete with their very own parliament and government. 14. They have their own parliament, which they call the Lagting, and it has been around since the time of the Vikings. 15. Risakjat, which is a form of air-dried beef that has been left to ferment for several months, is another well-liked meal that is served at the Faroes table. Lamb or fish are commonly used to make the meat, and it is traditionally served sliced very thin with bread and butter. 16. There are just 9 individual sets of traffic lights in total, 8 of which are located in the city that serves as the capital. If you have a severe aversion to waiting at stoplights, this is the place for you. 17. The months of summer from June to August are the sunniest and warmest, with average temperatures ranging from 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. These months also see the most rainfall. Temperatures throughout the winter months, which range from December to February, are characterized by lows of 3 to 7 degrees Celsius on average, are the lowest and the darkest. 18. The cost of living in the Faroe Islands can be considered to be on the higher end of the spectrum, particularly with regard to the price of imported items. The islands provide a high standard of living for their residents by providing free medical care and education, in addition to the large welfare system. 19. The Irish monk Saint Brendan is credited in folklore with discovering the Faroe Islands in the 6th century. However, there is no evidence to back up this claim. The Faroe Islands are located in the North Atlantic Ocean. 20. In the 9th century, Norwegian Vikings colonized the islands and established the first permanent villages on them. These Vikings were responsible for the island's initial colonization. 21. Since Faroese is a tonal language, the meaning of a word might shift depending on the pitch at which it is spoken. The language also has a number of distinctive vowel and consonant sounds, all of which can be difficult for speakers who are not native to the language to master. 22. Words attributed to Funfaro that may be perceived as humorous or intriguing by native English speakers. Televisions are referred to as seinvarp. The term kripichet refers to meat from a fermented lamb. Green drop, which is another name for the pilot whale. Huntfiskamoria, which literally means fish intestines, krambamening, in the sense of a grocery shop. 23. You should go to the waterfall on the island of Stromoy, as well as the Badala Fasar waterfall on the island of Siroy. Both of these waterfalls are located in beautiful natural settings. 24. The islands are connected to one another by a huge number of bridges and tunnels, some of which are among the longest in the world. The length of the tunnels combined is around 11 kilometers. 25. The fishing sector is extremely important to the economy of the Faroe Islands, which is partly supported by the island's rich marine environment, which offers a great deal of potential business prospects. Residents of Faroes enjoy excellent wages, with an average monthly salary of 30,000 DKK before taxes. This figure is before taxes. 26. The native drink of the Faroe Islands, known as URL, has gained widespread recognition throughout the years. The name may lead one to believe that this beverage is a form of beer. However, it is actually an ale that was created at home using a combination of malted barley and dried hops. Ale is a key part of the history and culture of the Faroe, and it is served at many of the social gatherings that take place. 27. As a result of the Faroe Islands' jaw-dropping natural scenery and one-of-a-kind cultural offerings, the country's tourism sector is experiencing healthy growth. One of the places where people travel to watch birds in close proximity is the Puffin Safari, which is a tourist attraction. 28. If you're a fan of James Bond movies, you might be interested to know that the Faroe Islands appeared in the most recent one, No Time to Die. 29. Faroist is a Germanic language that is closely linked to Icelandic and Norwegian. Faroist was spoken by ancient pharaohs. Its distinctive melody and rhythm give it a sound that is distinct from that of other Scandinavian languages, which helps to distinguish it from those languages. 30. The majority of Faroist names are of Scandinavian derivation. Hansen Joinsen and Peterson are only two examples of common Faroese surnames.